Okie dokes. Some of y'all sent me some information about this new Indian manga artist that won the Katakawa contest, and now he's serialized in Katakawa officially. And here it is on the Katakawa website. I checked out the English version, the little pages that were there, and right off the bat, I'm not interested in the story. I'm not interested because it's an action comedy. And currently, the world doesn't need a comedy story. We don't need a clown, quote unquote, hero type of character as a male lead right now. That's not what the world needs right now, right? What we need are strong, assertive, serious leads right now. Comedy, you can say that, well, that's just your own subjective preference. You just dislike comedy. Yes, I do dislike comedy, but in all honesty, regardless, the world doesn't need any more goofball stories, right? It doesn't. We don't need it. That's not what we're looking for. We don't need to hide behind comedy to shy away from serious themes. This is a transitional time in human history, and there isn't a story currently being serialized that is questioning the trajectory of our population. There just isn't. Everything being dished out right now is strictly just to distract you, strictly just to entertain you. It's not there to challenge you. This thing didn't challenge me at all. Oh, look, a Yamcha reference. Oh, look, the art style is exactly like Yusuke Murata. Oh, look, the artwork is amazing, just like Yusuke Murata. That is very impressive if that's all you care about, right? But the narrative, the essence, the substance, it's not taken seriously. It's not taken seriously. Now, if you have a look at what the Indian guy was sharing over here, right? This author here, I forgot who they are, but look at their opinion on this Indian guy's manga, right? So I quote, Kung Fu, it's Kung Fu, right? Yeah, it's hilarious, and above all, the artwork is insanely good. Pause. Under the standard of coffee comics, what is the most important thing? It is the narrative. Because it is the narrative that offers transformation. If you want to laugh, bro, just switch on Family Guy. Switch on The Simpsons, American Dad, watch American Pie, watch Jackass, watch any Marvel movie if you just want to laugh. If you want just great artwork, you can find that anywhere on the internet. Hell, you can generate your own great artwork using AI. The biggest compliment here is how amazing the art is. No one's talking about the story. Nobody anywhere. Because the story is mediocre, non-existent, and it's not designed to actually tell you anything. You know? And I kind of find it interesting that an Indian person won this contest. Did the Indian guy win based on merit? He is very good, but I don't think so. Because there are other artists who are really good that never won. Right? That never won. Why an Indian in particular? Well, Indians are well known for their work ethic and their lack of issues with being underpaid. That's right. I'm going over there. No, Coffee, you can't touch that subject. Why not? That's where we are right now in the world. Are you kidding me? We have seen Japanese authors who have been in the industry for decades talking about how they're being underpaid. We have Boichi himself, illustrator for Dr. Stone, who revealed all the can of worms that, we get 10% royalties. International sales of our books is just 3% in royalties. We get 15% royalties when it comes to digital sales. How Boichi, when he serialized Sanken Rock, His entire staff was starving for the whole month, and they had to wait for the royalty check so that they can go buy lunch. How did they survive? They were scruffing around the couches looking for some bucks to go buy a simple meal at the dollar store. Boichi's testimony. Boichi, a legendary artist who's still alive, artwork that of S rank. Boichi. So, you see, when you have self-respect in modern times, oh, you a problem. But unfortunately, Indians, the ones that do have self-respect for themselves, obviously, they ain't gonna get hired. But the ones that are used to being taken advantage of, being exploited, it's so much so it's become the norm for the last maybe 400 years. You know what? Longer than that. Since the beginning, India has been jacked. Even though it's got a rich culture and amazing mythos that I truly respect and enjoy, unfortunately, the reality of India is just beyond a hellscape. Beyond a hellscape. What we are seeing is a bunch of Indian people being used as tokens everywhere. Legit, every CEO of major tech companies are Indians now. You can't tell me that that's a coincidence. Now, of course, they gotta be qualified somewhat, but we know what they're doing. Trojan horse. We know what they're doing, bro. When the Indians get up in these tech firms, what's the first thing they do? They hire their cousin. Tribalistic in a way. Niggas do that too. Well, here in Africa. Now, when it comes to the context of Japan, however, it's not like this Indian guy's gonna call his cousin and say, hey, come publish a Kadokawa with me. No, it's not really gonna work like that, but this is the beginning of something. Because if the Japanese people, the young generation right now, care so much for their health, they don't wanna be busted up in 5 years of working an insane amount of hours for barely any pay, right? What are the companies going to do? They're going to bring in the Indians. Because the Indians' work ethic has always been 100 times greater than anybody else, really. And when they get vaporized from overwork, they just thrown in a hole. The machine keeps moving forward. And now with AI, do you really believe that if any Indian artist drops, these companies are not going to pretend like they're still alive using AI to continue their stories? Are you serious? They're doing that right now to the Japanese. We had Walter, whose neighbor is a Japanese woman, being exploited by her weekly publishing magazine, doing exactly that. Using AI to compensate the workload but paying her less. Do you really think that that's the thing, y'all? You have to be a complete dimwit or very ignorant of the mechanics of how this industry actually functions now and how it sustains itself. You see, I'm the only one looking at the mechanics of how these companies are sustaining themselves. Where are they getting their money from? Who's paying for daily operations? We know who it is. Kadokawa sold a bunch of its shares to some activist Western Chinese company. That's what? That's BlackRock adjacent. Obviously. Because all these stories coming out right now, they all share one thing in common. They don't have anything to say. They are there to solely distract you. But here is something that I've been saying proven true, is that the Japanese want something that looks Japanese. You would never know an Indian guy drew this. He's not even drawing any form of Indian culture whatsoever. There's no sign of any Hindi stuff up in here. a little bit of Buddhism, but then it's Chinese Buddhism. It's not the original Indian Buddhism. It's not, right? So I'm not knocking him on that, because some might say, well, you're not drawing your African stuff. Yeah, I don't like it. This Indian guy probably doesn't like his Hindi stuff either. I'm not knocking on that, but what do we usually hear from Japanese people and authors? We want guys from the outside of Japan with their unique cultures telling their stories. That's not what we see here. This guy's not telling a uniquely Indian type of story. This is very much so heavy duty Chinese Kung Fu inspired. Last time I checked, Kung Fu's Chinese. And there's been plenty of Kung Fu inspired works. Heck, Dragon Ball itself is very much so Chinese inspired. Right? Journey to the West, Jackie Chan. That's right. Everybody should know that Toriyama was a great fan of Jackie Chan's movies. Should all know that by now. So, if anything, this is nothing unique whatsoever. This guy's whole art style, his rendering techniques, the way he uses the blur tool, everything is Yusuke Murata. Even this guy admits. He says, while he's coping here, the respect to Mr. Yusuke Murata is off the charts. This is not respect. This is blatant. This is blatant theft at this point. It's no longer unique, right? It's no longer unique. From the panel layouts to the design of the villain mob characters, even the way the hero is drawn, it all feels very much so like Yusuke Murata style. So that's not a compliment. Something is supposed to remind you of another master style. You know, that ingredient of mine, familiarity. This is not familiarity at all. This is straight up taking someone's style. Now, because we believe it's a human being that took Yusuke Murata's style, apparently it's fine. But imagine AI took Yusuke Murata's style and made this manga. We don't even know, legitimately, if that isn't the case. How can you know? How can you know, bro? I mean, that's where we are right now. Did anyone see this guy draw anything? But let's say it is a real person and he actually is drawing it. Either way, we would all cry and say, no fair if the computer stole Murata's style. Like through and through, to the designs, to the paneling, to the rendering, to the coloring, all of it is Yusuke Murata. If a robot did exactly this, we'd complain. But apparently a human being did it and we ain't complaining. I mean, this guy even says it's to the point where I think maybe Yusuke Murata changed his pen name like a masked wrestler or something. Yeah, you see, psyops are multi-layered, and I'm the only one who can see through them. But looks like I'm not the only one, actually, because one of the other things you guys sent on the Patreon group chat is this guy. He says, and it is in the context of this new Indian manga, he says, if a Japanese person submitted a piece to a new artist award that's been massively influenced by Murata, they'd absolutely get called out on it and advised to develop something original. But foreigners can just debut with it as is. Kadokawa is the one that debuted it. So even if it resembles other companies' authors as much as it wants, it's like, I don't know anything about that. Maybe. We all know what they're doing. It's exactly what I'm saying, bro. This is some Trojan horse stuff. The Japanese have been overworked, underpaid, and they tired. They tired, bro. Right? You see, these companies still need a front. They need a front man. Just like, criminals need a front man to do money laundering, which is pretty much the bread and butter of the entire economy at this point. Right? But anyway, they need a front. So these companies are opening the floodgates for very much so desperate foreigners who have a proven work ethic that come here. So that we can work you to the bone. If you drop dead, you won't sign an NDA that in case you die from overwork, we're going to continue your story using AI. Do you think that can't happen? It's happening. Maybe not the NDA part about you dying, but the part where they are helping you work faster using AI, that's happening. It's only a matter of time before, if you drop, we'll continue your stuff using AI. So we can keep making money, and luckily this time we won't need to pay you 10% of your royalties. Come on, guys. Come on. All the people celebrating this, you don't know the mechanics. You don't know the mechanics. It's jacked out here. And this is not to discourage anyone. Now, if you feel discouraged, it's because you never believed in yourself. You never had anything to say. You wanted to just draw random things, throw at the wall, and hope that some establishment is going to push it for you. If anything, this should only encourage you to do your own work and put on your own website. He then says, I'm not sure if this will come across clearly, but the point is, I just can't stand Katakau's attitude of hyping someone up to genius level when they've been influenced that much by existing authors. Like if an Indian person drew manga that resembled Murata's style, would they get treated like a genius? That kind of evaluation is just disrespectful to actual writers. This is true. Someone is a genius because they are a massive copycat. This is just being a copycat, bro. You're a genius for being a copycat. What about your story? Not one single person alive is talking about the actual story itself because it's boring, bro. It's some goofball-ish. This is not what the world needed. But this is adjacent to the overall plot. The plot to just make everybody unserious. It's adjacent to that, The world doesn't need such a hero right now. We don't need another Deadpool, bro. This is where we at. We're in the era of Deadpool. New characters gotta be goofy, funny, and whatever, like Deadpool. Nah, bro. Nah. Okay, nah. This guy says, setting aside the fact that the art style and paneling are too similar to Murata, there are too many characters introduced. It's hard to grasp the characters' goals. Under the coffee comic standard, if it's too hard or you barely do it, you are a failure as a storyteller. Automatic fail. I still don't know what the hell this main character wanted to do. I have no idea. Right. And there's no character development to help readers to form a connection. They just end up thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? I think these issues are pretty serious because they are all pretty basic stuff. If the intent is to draw eyes with cool fight scenes, but the enemies are designed too tackily, popping up endlessly like some year-end giveaway bonanza, and there are way too many characters you could yank out without affecting the story at all. Perfection. That was perfect. Oh, this is a Chinese guy saying this. But this is a proper evaluation. We don't know. Nobody knows what's going on in this story. Nobody. It's just peak, bro. Fire. Punches, kicks. Looks like Murata. Hot. Nice. The world is doomed. It's doomed if you relied on it. It's doomed if you depended on it. If you depended on these establishments, these dungeons, these psyop agents to push your story for you, you never had a story to tell. You were just an opportunist trying to get popular. Trying to make a buck because you thought you could draw very well. Notice how so far there isn't a Western artist that won any of these competitions. Because most Western people, they want to get paid what they're owed. Right? Guys, this is the takeover. They're reconfiguring the entirety of the planet to just have third world, fourth world, desperate workers. Have a massive slave class. By 2030, 2035, it will be complete. And I hope I won't be done with the story by 2030. That's 4 years away. Y'all sitting, smoking it, chilling, thinking like you ain't nothing, like you ain't gonna lose. You're gonna lose, bro. Because Global Comics has received $13 million to build an AI engine that is gonna localize and change all the stories on their website. Yours too, if you uploaded your stuff there, right? And they're not the only one. Every company, major company, is now the property of BlackRock and its ESG score system. And with AI assisting them, every story is going to feel the same. Every story is going to have one message. Either it's going to be nothingness or pure senseless subversions. And it's demoralizing, isn't it? You spend like 5 minutes trying to read this thing and there's just nothing there. Oh, but the fights, bro, like yeah, whoa. So people won't be like, I'm jealous, I'm mad. Why jealous of somebody that legit just got enslaved? This guy just got enslaved by the Japanese, bro. Jealous of a copycat? I got dissed for apparently copying Berserk. Now, I don't have an art style similar to Berserk whatsoever, but the similarities of a few elements from Berserk, I was dissed for it. People dissed me and would diss other people for having a style or elements that are too similar to another popular work. But this guy can have not word for word, but line for line, just like Murata, to the point where it looks like AI did this, right? And it's okay. It's the only reason it's okay is because it's useful for the companies. They don't want you if you have something to say. They don't want you if you have self-respect. They don't want you if you know what you're worth. They don't want you if you want to inspire people. They only want slaves that are good at working overtime, barely any pay, and who are just going to create mindless dopamine-induced pages. That's the thing, man. I have built the alternative, right? It's just we don't have enough content as of yet, right? We don't have hundreds of chapters available yet. But I hope that by 2029, my team here at Coffee Originals, we will have plentiful of content, a backlog, because this is how you win the war. You want to win the war if you have a giant backlog of work. This is how you win the war. Mother suckers who want to make a chapter once a year, you're never going to win even the battle. Okay? You're just not. This is just a catastrophe. But go figure, man. I knew. I told y'all. And some of y'all can see it for yourself and you realize it. And so that's why you sent it to me. Like, yo, check this out. Ain't this what you've been saying? Yes, it is, bro. Yes, it is. If the Indian guy watches this, I'm not hating, bro. If truly you never use AI to draw any of this, you are very talented at copying. You have no story, sorry. You got nothing to say, sorry. You're just a copycat, sorry. They're gonna work you to the bone over there, sorry. But if you don't mind, okay, it's your dream to die in a cell, being overworked. I was there too when I was young. I wanted to die in a cell too because I was like, it's my dream. But you know what? When I understood that, you know what, this is not sustainable. I might not be able to even tell the story exactly how I want because of this insane work culture. And then my eyes were opened. It's not sustainable. The level of compromises that you end up having to make in order to just keep yourself alive, you're not going to be able to dish out what you wanted to dish out in the end. And above all else, these companies are questioning what is going to sell now. And they are questioning that on the basis of what is the modern audience looking for. And according to BlackRock, they are looking for the ESG, DEI garbage. Senseless nonsense that just keeps you entertained. Things that don't challenge your mind, that don't force growth. Give me a break. You want real stories? Then you're gonna go to coffeeoriginals.co.za, link in the description box, right? And you're gonna check out what we got there. This other stuff is some bull crap.